Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Dolphins going up against the Broncos. So let's get you out to Denver for the call of our game. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building as we come to you from Sports Authority Field at Mile High here in downtown Denver. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Denver Broncos. They'll begin the drive with a J. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here's Tannehill now on second down. And over the middle, this is Parker. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have a third down. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. And he hits the tight end. It's Deion Sims. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Time to feature the offensive starters, and our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
Now it's Ajayi, and he'll get this up only to about the 33. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
Chris Harris Jr. is not a name that rolls off the tongue quickly, but it should. He's one of the best cover corners in the league.
Play clock winding down. Here's Tannehill. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, the Dolphins will ask Matt Darr to kick it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Now it's Crowder. A great return there of 22 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. In motion right is Thomas. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Time to tighten up the seatbelt just a little bit, partner, because that was a safety that crashed in there and made that play behind the line of scrimmage. How about that pursuit?
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
Ready, left 35, go!
They'll fake the give. Now Romo. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. Third down here. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide, it doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
Third and long here. It's Romo. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now fourth down. On fourth down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. The dangerous Jarvis Landry back for Miami. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. No gain on the play there. Second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
10 yards still left on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Couple of Broncos there in on the tackle. And if they want to keep this drive alive, they'll need 8 yards here on third down. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Sylvester Williams coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Crowder now to return. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Now it's Romo off the bootleg. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunky yardage picked up there.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Now Tony Romo on first down. On the screen, this is Coleman. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Coleman now. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing on 3rd down, Romo. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And that'll be incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. A couple of Broncos there in on the tackle. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to fire one. They've got his man complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. It's caught. Stills, right side. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Deion Sims is tight end, the intended target, and it's 4th down. Now it's Andrew Franks on for Miami. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Frank's kick is good. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7, Jelani Jenkins. From that outside linebacker spot, he's able to get in there for a loss of 9.
Let's go now. Right 18.
Now Romo. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And Ndamukong Suh. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And out come the Dolphins now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. A couple of Broncos there in on the tackle.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he finds Stills complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Fresh set of downs here. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And this kick goes out of bounds, and that's obviously why the flag comes out here.
And now you can see the defense greeting the kicker as they go out to play. The starting field position for the offense is excellent, puts a lot more pressure on the defensive guys.
Yeah, and if the kicker thinks he's lonesome, he's really lonesome after a play like this.
Yeah, he better hope that he's lonesome because who's ever standing next to him is probably on the defensive side, and they're none too happy.
Romo here on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Virgil Green is tied in the intended receiver, and it's second down.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slant. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They go play action here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Let's go.
On 2nd and 10, Romo. On the catch, it's Crowder. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Here's Romo. He's going to air one out. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. So pass interference, partner with all the rule changes. It is hard to be a defender in the pass game.
Brandon, is tough in college. It's a lot harder in the NFL. You can't touch him after 5 yards downfield. You can't touch him while the ball's not in the air. You can't touch him at all until the ball is at the receiver's hands. Very difficult to be a defender in today's NFL.
On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Second down now after the pass completion. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Romo throwing again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd.
Set. Left 35.
Romo on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Pass interference call. Charles, you were a defender. You know how hard it is to defend the pass without committing this penalty.
And if they would let them play with a little bit more contact and give the defender a better chance, we wouldn't have nearly as many flags.
They come out here in the eye. Here's Coleman on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. To throw on 2nd down is Romo. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Virgil Green, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And he's given his guys a shot from late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. That'll bring up second down. Second and 10. Romo once more. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know that in recent years, it's been tough on Tony Romo. A lot of injuries have piled up, but he's still able to sling it, Brandon. Look at that throw.
Yeah, he can. By the way, you know his given name on his birth certificate?
Hit me, hit me.
Antonio Ramiro Romo.
That fool's
got a good ring, so I'm going to start calling him Antonio.
The lyrical one.
And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down.
But they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
6 yards to go here on second down. Now a play fake, and it's Romo. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Throwing on third down, Romo got a man. He finds Sanders. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Second and 5.
Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Key to tight end. Let's go now.
Coleman. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Calling a gain is 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on first down. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Here's Coleman, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Let's go now.
They'll fake the give. Now Romo. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football, and getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. So they're operating in the red zone.
Here we go.
This is Coleman. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. On second down, here's Romo. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They come out here in the eye. The tight end changing his position. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Romo keep, and he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Tony Romo, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
And the sneak works on second and goal. They didn't wait until it was fourth down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Hey, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
This is taken at his 4. Ooh, with a juke. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Watch 35. Ready. Right, 20. Right, check, check, check.
On first down, it's Romo. And that's complete to Sanders. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Second down following the run. They will run again with Coleman. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
Now 3rd down, less than a yard. They'll fake the handoff. Now Romo. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Their big tight end. His first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And he knew he was going to take a shot in the pocket. He did, but he also found a way to get it into the end zone.
And that has to ease the pain a little bit of the shot he took, didn't it? Being able to throw it into the end zone for a touchdown.
And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down. After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back. I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off, or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. 8 yards to go here on 2nd down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now it's Tannehill. He gets it to Sims, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he's going to be sacked back on his side of the field at the 44. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the 1st down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1, if people want to run the football, this is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Romo, he'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? In this case, they managed to get it done.
They'll toss it to Coleman. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now.
Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
He finds his target. It's Crowder. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
And that pickup of a 1st down, That's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns, running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone. We saw evidence of that on that play.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And they're definitely showing blitz here. On first down, Tannehill. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. And they'll run it here. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd.
Hey, 4 down. Ready, left 35.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And in the end, the decision to bring it out costs him a few yards as he's out of bounds just past the 20. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone,
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, Charles, there's an old saying, don't let a loss beat you twice.
You're exactly right about that, Brandon. When you look at it and all of your preparation went into winning this week, now you have to absorb a loss and find a way to shake it off.
So for the Broncos, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. Meanwhile, for Miami, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.